Good afternoon. It's 3 p.m. and I'll call to order the Board of Directors regular meeting for Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. May I have a roll call, please?
Director Meyerhoffen.
Here.
Director Duff.
Present.
Director Martin.
Here.
Vice President Griffith.
Present.
And President Sewell.
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Right. And I do want to just make an announcement that Director Duff will be participating remotely pursuant to AB 2449 today. If we could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Director Martin, would you like to lead us?
Place your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Item 6, public input. This is the opportunity for members of the public to address the board on matters within the board's jurisdiction. Please limit comments to 3 minutes or less. State law prohibits the board from discussing or taking action on any item not listed on the agenda. Do we have any members of the public wishing to address the board?
President Sewell, there are no members of the public online.
Thank you. Moving on to employee recognition. Item 7, HR report. General Manager.
Thank you, President Sewell. We have 2 employees that we'd like to introduce today. First, we have one new hire in the month of January, Josiah Perez, who joins the field operations technician. Josiah was previously experienced in the water industry. He worked as a water worker, repairing water leaks, installing new water service lines, and performing maintenance of water valves, replacing meters and backflow. He also holds a Class A commercial driver's license. He and his wife have 2 daughters, a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old baby, and they live in Desert Hot Springs, so he's local. In fact, he's lived here in his entire life, so that's fantastic. When not at work spending time with his family, he enjoys playing and watching sports. Here to introduce Josiah is Field Operations Superintendent Jeff Nutter. Can you please come to the podium, sir? Thank you.
Thank you, General Manager Mason. Good afternoon, President Sewell, members of the board. Josiah's only been here a little over a month, and the strides he's taken is just, amazing. I've worked with him, I know it was like 3 o'clock in the morning a couple weeks ago. We worked till almost 9 o'clock last week, and it's good to see someone take such initiative, not having to be told to do something. Tapping the service, repairing, leaks, putting clamps on. He's just taken such huge strides. He has a huge future here. So it's really good to see someone like him on board with the C&M department. Thank you, everything you've been doing. This weekend, he got called out again. So being local, he's being put to the test, and he's passed every one of them so far. So welcome aboard, and we appreciate all your dedication. If you want to come up and say something, have it. Thank you again.
Great, thank you.
Good afternoon. I just want to say thank you guys for the opportunity here. And, every day I'm gonna just try to keep striving and make everyone proud here at East Springs Water District. So thank you guys again for the opportunity. Thank you. And thank you, Jeff, for everything.
Great. Happy to have you on the team. Sure. You want us to come down? Or?
You guys can stay there. We'll just do it.
Just stand up. Welcome aboard.
Okay, thank you. And now we're here to honor our anniversaries. This month, we have 7 employees celebrating an anniversary with the district. Together, they represent 47 years of service. As we mentioned last month, we are retooling our recognition process. We will still be honoring all employees on the anniversary of their month, but our milestone employees are only going to be here to the board. That takes us to Chris Jacobson. Chris Jacobson is our wastewater treatment plant operator 2 and is celebrating 20 years of service for the district. If you ask his coworkers, most likely Chris is a wonderful person to have on the staff and in the wastewater department. Over the years, he has shown that he's truly trustworthy and truly cares about the work he does. The staff can always count on him to complete any task that he is given. As a member of Events Committee, Chris is always available, to lend a helping hand and make sure other things are taken care of as needed. Here to introduce Chris as our Chief Plant Operator, Lead Lawyer.
Thank you, General Manager Macy. Good afternoon, President Sewell, members of the board. Chris and I have worked together for the last 20 years. We've had our ups and downs throughout the years. At one time, he was my lead operator. Going through some issues, he decided to step down, but Chris is still an integral part of the team. He pretty much has taken on the task of running the Desert Crest plant. He does everything he can out there to make sure the plant is running good, beds are ready to be cleaned. He goes out there and helps them clean beds. And then he also can do everything in Horton, and he's going to be a key component in running the new Nancy Wright plant. So Chris, would you like to come up and say anything?
Thank you for having me. It's been a long ride, 20 years, doesn't seem like 20 years. But looking at that photo and my original ID card, boy, am I getting old. So, but it's been a fun ride. The district I've seen got hired under Boca Negra, and then Arden came in, and now Ryan Macy's the general manager. And we've had some fun things happen along the way, but I'm still excited to be here. I've had other opportunities to go other districts, but every time I stayed here. This district has really taken care of me. The people that work here, I consider friends. People I work with are very good. So the board has taken care of me through the years as well. And I just want to thank you guys. Thank you, everyone that's taken care of me. And look forward to continue working here. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for many years of your service and dedication, and we're really happy to have you. So. Did we have any comments from the board? Seeing none, just congratulations again to Chris and Josiah and all the others that we didn't make come in today, but I think now's a good time if you guys want to slip out before we get to more stuff.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all coming.
Thank you.
That include me and some of the other board members.
I think we have to have a quorum at least. Thank you. Moving on to action items. Item 8, approval of the update of the developer contractor handbook and guidelines for the design and construction of water and sewer facilities. It is recommended that the board approve the updated Mission Springs Water District Developer Contractor Handbook and guidelines for design and construction of water and sewer facilities, February 2024 edition. General Manager.
Thank you, President Sewell. We provided a presentation on Thursday regarding this item. I know that there were some comments that we were given at that time. They will be incorporated in the document. If there are any additional questions or comments, Eric is available to answer any questions. Any comments that we will receive the board, we will make into the final document that we get posted on our website.
Okay. Do we have any further questions from the board? Director Duff?
I'm trying, I'm sorry. The computer is slower than I am, I guess. No further comments. I look forward to those changes and look forward to getting this out. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Griffin? Director Meyerhoffen? Director Martin? All right. Do we have a motion for item 8?
I move approval of the update of the developer contractor handbook and guidelines for design and construction of water and sewer facilities.
And I'll second that motion.
And with a motion and a second, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Director Meyerhoffen,
Yes.
Director Duff,
Yes.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Vice President Griffith.
Aye.
President Sewell.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Item 9, contract amendments for construction and construction support and inspection services for the Weld 42 project. It is recommended to authorize the general manager to execute contract amendments with AECom Technical Services, EnviroLogic Resources, and TKE Engineering for additional engineering services during construction, and with roll-apart buildings for additional construction support and inspection services during the construction of the Well 42 project in the amount of $113,605. General Manager.
Thank you, President Sewell. Eric Weck, our engineering manager, just handed out some of the information that was requested at our Thursday meeting. What you have been given, as well as copies available for the public, are backup and invoice information from TKE to sort of lay the groundwork of why we're asking for a contract amendment and additional scope and fee. I know you just received that, and I apologize for its lateness. But we have been able to provide that. Eric is also still available to answer any questions you may have about this item.
Okay. Director Meyerhoffen, any questions?
I don't know what to say. We just get this new information and here we are supposed to vote on it. And then the last, so I don't know, maybe we should continue it over until we can see all the complete information.
Director Martin, any?
No, I somewhat concur with what Director Meyerhoffen said. With the volume of this new information, maybe we ought to continue it.
Okay. Director Duff, did you have comments or questions?
I agree. I think I have no access to it at this time, so I think we should continue this until.
And Vice President Griffith?
So I have a question from General Manager Macy. If we were to move forward with all but this portion, which is TKE, or if we just push everything to the next meeting, would that result in a significant delay? I mean, I have no intention of approving something that I get in the midst of a meeting, let alone less than 72 hours for the public to see it. But would not approving those other portions delay this project in a negative fashion?
I will defer that question to Eric.
I've been communicating with TKE over the past couple of days in this possibility, and I don't think it'll affect it negatively. It'll just push it out a few weeks.
So I believe we can continue this item until next month and bring it back to you.
So I would like to make a motion to continue this item to the next meeting so that we have sufficient time to review this.
I'll second.
And to clarify, do you think it's enough time to do it at our workshop? I believe that will come faster than the study session or next board meeting.
I think just from a cleaner perspective, we'll just bring it back to the next board meeting. Even
Okay.
though we could bring it to the workshop, let's just bring it to the next board meeting.
Okay. With a motion and a second, can I have a roll call vote, please?
Director Meyerhoffen,
Yes.
Director Duff,
Yes.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Vice President Griffith.
Aye.
President Sewell.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Item 10, purchase of utility easement for the Regional Water Reclamation Facility monitoring well on APN 669-110-001. It is recommended to authorize the general manager to take the necessary actions to negotiate, purchase, and record a permanent utility easement on a portion of real property in Riverside County, APN 669-110-001 for a monitoring well. General Manager.
Thank you, President Sewell. This item, as we talked about on Thursday, is necessary for a monitoring well and just downstream of the Regional Wastewater Reclamation Facility, the Nancy Wright facility. We talked about how much the price was, the easement itself, and how we were going to acquire that. So with that being said, if you have any additional questions, Eric and myself are here to answer those questions.
Any additional questions, Director Duff?
No.
Vice President Griffith? Director Martin?
No.
Director Mayo?
No.
Seeing none, do we have a motion for item 10?
So moved.
I'll
And then-
second.
With a motion and a second, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Director Meyerhoffen,
Yes.
Director Duff,
Yes.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Vice President Griffith.
Aye.
President Sewell.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Item 11, award of contract for the complete deployment of the ArcGIS Enterprise, Utility Network, and CityWorks to Timmons Group. It is recommended to authorize the general manager to execute a contract agreement for the complete deployment of the ArcGIS Enterprise, Utility Network, and CityWorks in the amount of $849,596, plus a 10% contingency for a total of $934,555.60 to Timmons Group, and authorize the general manager to do all things necessary to complete the project. And did we have anything further today from?
No, Arturo is participating remotely. I don't know that Timmons is here, but if there's any other questions and Arturo can't get to them, we can answer them at a later time. But
Okay.
yes, we've completed our presentation on Thursday.
And any other discussion or questions from the board? Director Martin?
Nope.
Director Mayo? Vice President Griffith?
I know this is, people look at this and think this is quite a bit of money, but I made a comment that not a long time ago, but a while ago about when I came in here, I realized that some of the processes were quite archaic, and I'm happy to see that we are making some investments to bring things up to the 21st century. So it is 2024. We do need really good technological capacity here, and so I am really happy to see this.
Director Duff?
No comments. But I'll move to approve an award contract agreement for the complete deployment of ARCGIS Enterprises with the CityWorks to Timmons Group.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
And I'll just add to Director Griffith's comments that I think this is a great project. The presentation on Thursday was very thorough, and I think it's going to be a huge cost savings to the district. And not only that, many of these items are going to occur simultaneously, so that will be a cost savings as well. So with that, we have a motion and a second. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Director Meyerhoffen,
Yes.
Director Duff,
Yes.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Vice President Griffith.
Aye.
President Sewell.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Moving on to discussion items.
Before we get there, you want to get an introduction from this?
Yes. We have our legal counsel here.
Yes, I'm Robert Patterson from SBEMP, filling in for John Pinkney today. And sorry I'm late, but I ran into traffic. Gene Autry is shut down and the other roads have a lot of congestion. So I apologize for my lateness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 12, MSWD Regional Water Reclamation Facility Update. We went over on Thursday. Anything further?
No, nothing to add.
Okay. And item 13, Critical Services Center and Administration Building Update. Also went over Thursday.
Correct. Nothing more to add.
Item 14, Sewer Service Rules and Regulations. Article 6, Industrial Discharge Update.
Staff has nothing to add, but just as a reminder, we will be bringing this back for approval in March, next month. So if there's any comments from either the public or the board, please share those with us so we can incorporate any proposed change language into the document before we bring it back to the board in March.
And I'm sorry on the last two items as well. Did we have any further comments from the board?
I have a comment that I was going to make, but I'm holding back on it until our council can be here. It has a history of dealing with certain issues with Desert Water Agency. And because I had some concerns that were reinforced by comments that were made by our vice president and Director Duff on the litigation part of it, and I want to get some background with our legal counsel. But I'll do it.
And Director Meyerhoff, did you have any comments on the Article 6 or item 14?
No, not this time.
And then Director Duff, anything further?
No, thank you.
And item 15, I believe this was what you were
Yeah,
referring to.
I'm sorry. I got
Oh, no,
it.
it's okay. Desert Water Agency Replenishment Assessment Charge Report. We did have a presentation on Thursday, and I think more questions have come up. So any questions that the board members have to direct to General Manager Macy, and we can get those over to DWA. But if we have any further discussion now, any Director Mine? Any? And Director Duff, anything further?
Nothing further at this time.
Okay, so yes, if you could just direct any further questions to General Manager Macy, we'll get those over to Desert Water Agency. Moving on to consent agenda. It consists of two items. Item 16, the approval of minutes, and item 17, the register of demands. Did we have any board members wanting to pull one of those items today? Director Duff?
We actually addressed the questions on Thursday, so I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
We'll move to, we approve consent agenda.
And I'll second. With a motion and a second, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Director Meyerhoffen,
Yes.
Director Duff,
Yes.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Vice President Griffith.
Aye.
President Sewell.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Moving on to reports, item 18, director's reports. And I believe we all postponed till today. I actually don't have anything to report on, so Director Meyerhoffen, do you have meetings to report?
Yes, I attended the DVBA legislative meeting and found that to be very interesting. You know, all the different cities come together to meet and share what they're doing. It was very informative. And then I went to their networking night, and that's always good to talk with other folks there about what's going on. The Carbs Award dinner, that was different. The district got 3 different awards there. And it was a fun night. I don't know what was more entertaining, the guy balancing a shoe on his nose, or the guy eating the chocolate chip cookie. I'm not sure. But anyways, and then I did attend the Historical Society Rock House grand opening, and that was very interesting. I always love old architecture, and there was a chance for me to get in and see an old rock house. So, you know, I'm very familiar with it from before the Historical Society took it over. Well, anyways, that's it.
Thank you. Director Martin?
Yes. I also attended on the 4th of January, the DVBA legislative meeting. I concur with what Director Meyerhoffen said about the meeting. It's always informative to attend those. On the 12th, attended the DVBA General Membership Luncheon presentation by Julie Lawton, CEO of Design Build. And she made a presentation on the 7 steps to building a 5-star custom home. On the 16th City Council meeting, Jan Pye was selected as Mayor Pro Tem. The appointment made by, of course, Mayor Scott Mattis. There was a water district update by Marion. Good job, Marion. And there was a lengthy discussion, and this took over an hour time of City Council. Lengthy discussion on the homeless shelter funding. And then after much discussion on that, the measure passed. It was a homeless shelter funding. On the 18th, the DVBA networking night at Montflores and Rancho Mirage. It was a pretty small turnout compared to their other functions.
On the 20th, attended the grand opening of the Rock House, which I guess the official name of that is Pile of Rocks, which I thought was kind of an unusual name to call it. Anyway, on the 22nd, I attended the Desert Valley Builders Association Board of Directors meeting. Not much to say there, except they approved the budget. On the 23rd, Riverside County Board of Supervisors, there was public comments, complaint regarding board and commission appointments, and some complaints about the sheriff's department. There was a discussion on consolidation of the 911 dispatch centers. There was an appointment to the Planning Commission of Olivia Balderrama, and Supervisor Perez praised the Desert Hot Springs Pile of Rocks and the grand opening of the historical landmark, including slide presentation. It was a very nice recognition. On the 27th, attended the Forbes Award dinner. It was well attended. Kudos to Mission Springs Water District staff members who are responsible for the awards that we frequently get, including Mission Springs Water District Plant of the Year, Collection System Person of the Year, Joy McElwain, and finally, Marianne Champion for Community Engagement and Outreach Project of the Year. So congratulations to staff and Marianne. On the 30th, attended the Aqua Region 9 board meeting and the DWA tour of the Snow Creek facility. I had never been up the Snow Creek up there, and I thought that was a very, very impressive facility, and it was quite a beautiful place, I might add, too. It's something they should be very proud of. And then on the 11th, I attended my last meeting as CVAG Conservation Commissioner and the Energy and Sustainability Committee. And that was always a good presentation, and I'm sure that Amber is going to enjoy her appointment to that, those two committees. Anyway, that concludes my report.
Director Duff?
Sure. Okay, so on the 23rd of January, I attended my first CVWD board meeting, and I found it very interesting to watch how another board of directors runs the meeting. They argue a little more than we do, but I think that's a good thing. They had to approve or approved a $1.2 million redo of the stannous chloride study they had done, because they have to include studies that include the residential and commercial building pipes to see how the stannous chloride process to remove chromium-6 would affect the residential pipes and irrigation pipes, and they have to include a lot of additional things for the state. So they approved that. They also, it was the first time I'd seen staff make a recommendation to the board to disapprove and reject all bids on something. They were trying to work on their WRP 7 aeration improvement project. And all of the estimates came in between 6 and 8 times what they had calculated they should have come in at. And they're seeing that as a trend. And the discussion in a gist was that we might need to be rejecting a lot more of these bids to force these contractors to start coming in more reasonable and actionable, especially for the small water districts and small municipalities. So that was a very interesting discussion. They also talked about how they had to purchase a piece of property from the county of Riverside that they had already fully had construction on. There was some sort of misunderstanding, and when they went to finalize everything, found out, whoops, we just did a whole bunch of work on property we didn't own. So they had to purchase some property from the county of Riverside. So I am mentioning that so that staff can have a nice remembrance that we don't want to do that. The next meeting I attended was the San Gorgonio Pass Regional Water Alliance Board meeting on the 24th. I find these meetings so informative and they have really educated me a great deal. We had 2 special presentations and I have forwarded notes to the general manager and a slide on one of them. Dan Jaggers did a presentation on making California making conservation and California way of life. And the slides were amazing. And I took some detailed notes on some things that we as a board need to really be thinking about as we move closer to this reality. And then also they had a special presentation from Nick Blair of Aqua for the Chromium 6 update. And I'll just leave it with a couple little notes on that. Basically, the current discussions in the state are not discussing the parts per billion. The 10 parts per billion is not moving. And Aqua, as well as many other agencies, argued that they should enlist the 5-year compliance just like the federal government does. And that was an absolute no-go. They want this stuff to be in compliance sooner than that, and they are sticking to the 2, 3, and 4 years to comply. The other thing he wanted to make sure that we all had in our minds is that this year, 2024, the regional board plans on new guidelines being released for PFAS and arsenic and MCLs. So we want to, and arsenic and MCLs, sorry. So we want to be thinking about a response to all. So that was that from San Gorgonio. The San Gorgonio itself update was just a lot of normal business. They have a lot of water. They're trying to find where to store, and there's a lot of moving and shaking going on since last year's rain, and they're trying to find places to store all over the place. Other than that, I also attended the Corbs Awards dinner, which was a lovely event. My favorite thing, though, I have to say, was the glow on our employees' faces of pride. It was so nice to see our wastewater workers so proud of themselves and amping themselves up to get even more awards in the future. And I loved the energy that they all had as a group. Keep it up, keep up the good work. And I also attended the Historical Society's Rock House grand opening, although I did not make it to witness the full opening ceremony. I did get to hear a lot of the behind the scenes work that our Vice President Griffith put in over the last 3 or 4 years on this project. Kudos to you, Vice President Griffith. You did a great job. The pile of rocks is really an awesome thing for our city. And I look forward to events that maybe MSWD can hold there. Thank you so much. And that was all for my month.
Thank you. And Vice President Griffith?
I didn't do a lot for MSWD last month. So I did attend the DWA board meeting where they did their elections. It was probably one of the shortest DWA meetings I've ever seen. Because it was the second, so it was right after the holiday break. It was a nice break. I didn't have to go through an hour and a half or anything. Also did the Corbs Award dinner, which it's always nice to go there and spend time with the employees. I had warned Director Duff it would be very cold because the last time I went, it was very cold, and it was actually not very cold. It was a little bit warm. And it was nice to see Director Meyerhoffen join us. I had the unfortunate position of having to sit next to Director Martin, but I suffered through that for the employees. So I also also attended the Historical Society Rock House grand opening. That was a project that I worked on for a few years. It was called the Pile of Rocks, and just so you know, there used to be in the early days, back when they had lots of postcards, there's a postcard where it says Pile of Rocks on it, and that was a big event. That was a big draw here. There used to be a sister house up on A Street, which homeless people moved into, and it caught fire. They tore that down, but it was a multi-year project, hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get it up to not completely up to code for current stuff, but in order to get it accessible and open to the public. And it was nice to see that every single one of the board members here attended. MSD did have a booth, a Rotary had a booth, Friends of the Library had a booth. And it was, to be honest, the more people showed up than we thought would. And that was a nice turnout. And then the rain came and everybody packed up and left, but the people didn't stop coming all the way up until 4 o'clock. So I think we had somewhere between 500 and 600 people that day. So it was a nice event. I really appreciate my fellow directors coming to join me. And that was my month.
Great, thank you. Item 19, General Manager's Report. We have the Finance Report and Public Affairs today.
Correct. Thank you, President Sewell. Yes, the general manager's report was included in your packet. We do have 2 presentations. The first one will be the finance report. Arturo Ceja is participating remotely, and will be giving his report. Arturo?
Thank you, General Manager Macy. Thank you, President Sewell and members of the board. I apologize, I couldn't be there today. I'm getting over a cold. So let me see if I can open the presentation. I'm having technical difficulties, but I will go over the information with you on just to point you on what page you can find that report. And that is on item 19 on page 588 of the packet, where it's showing you the operating income and operating expenses for the month of January at $11 million in actual, 11.8 million in revenue, 11.9 in expenses. Expenses are trending higher than revenue at this time by 81,000. But then you go down into the non-operating revenue and expenses that are $4.6 million above. And it's looking in line with what we had last year for around $5 million net income for the district in terms of the operations and non-operating items. The investment return is increasing over the last year. It is now 0.74% versus 0.03% that it was last year. And that trend continues to increase as our investments keep bringing in that cash. Total cash for the month of January is $50 million compared to the $57 million from last year. And again, that trend of accumulating that cash, simply trying to keep expenses down. And just like all the board members, we're also anxious to see the state approve that grant and those last 2 invoices that were submitted to them, just to make sure that we're still on track with those items. The next 2 items are the report for the capital improvements that also show the new jobs that were added after the mid-year budget was approved for the Hillary storm items. And also the the electric energy conservation and efficiency services plan, as discussed in the last workshop. Is there any questions that I can answer?
Any questions, Director Meyer Hoffman?
No.
Director Duff?
I was actually looking at page 335 under the Finance and Accounting Department. I had noticed a line item on the Register of Demands as well. Arturo, can you please just clarify for us the 2023 Q3 Register of Demands IRS refund? You mentioned it in the General Manager's report talking about the 457B tax treatment cleanup project. Just could you touch on that for us?
Yeah, and so in the last several years, as we continue to clean up our finances and our system, we are now adding and updating their software. It is very difficult to do that. However, with knowledge and making sure that we're doing things right, the taxable portion of the 457 that's only taxable for FICA and Medicare, we were not doing that in the past because our system was not allowing us to go back and only tax certain portions of the employee's income. So we were able to fix that finally with our accounting manager that's been doing an amazing job in cleaning a lot of these things up. And we're going back now and addressing those with the employees on our side and the W-2s And that's what that is. We sent out a letter to all of our employees, letting them know what was happening. And in fact, that's one of the driving forces with one of the other changes we're going to be making pretty soon to our match, the district match. And I just wanted to remind everyone, it only has to do with the district match that is involved here to avoid this situation in the future.
Thank you for that clarification. And then only one more thing, actually, on the next page, 336 of the handbook, there was some listings of the budget. And I just had one thing I was confused by. It said budget ID number 812, studies, plans, and update. And the amended budget was 879,000. Are
Correct.
you able to, can you tell me what that is?
Yeah.
The definition and description it doesn't attach to anything, so.
Right. That has to do exactly with the water and sewer master plans. In the past, we were tracking them as capital improvements. After going over the information with the auditors, because these plans and updates don't actually come up with an actual work plan, a lot of times they get updated. They do not recommend that they be placed under a capital improvement and instead be operations. So a lot of those expenses had already been happening, and we took it out from capital in the last year. However, we're now finalizing those projects, and we needed to make sure that the funds were there for budget purposes only, not because we're spending that money to clean it up. That's the largest item that we requested at mid-year.
Okay, perfect. And then very last, same page. And I don't know if you're able to answer this, but I might have to wait. I'll ask it anyway. Under current work priorities, the accounting department was supporting other departments in an engineering duo by SRD vacation easement duplex construction. What is that?
That is the regional plant, and ensuring that we pay that vendor that is helping the district with possible potential litigation. That obviously our esteemed SVMP can give you more details.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Director or Vice President Griffin, any question? No. Thank you very much, Arturo.
Thank
Feel
you.
better. And Public Affairs report?
Good afternoon, President Sewell, members of the board. Dory's going to go ahead and show my presentation. Today's presentation highlights some of the work the Public Affairs Office has done in the past month. Additional information is available in your packet. As expected, the month was filled with community engagement activities. The district participated in a wide variety of events, including presenting at Leadership Coachella Valley and CD Water Counts. We also had informational tables and show and tells at Cabot Yurtsa Elementary School for their Public Safety Day, the DHS Rock House grand opening, along with several other notable public events listed on your screen. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention the very successful Water Talks event the district hosted at the DHS Library on January 31st, which featured Miguel Hernandez from the California Natural Resources Department, who shared information on the state's salton sea mitigation efforts. Next month, we will continue to be out and about in the community, and we will host our second Water Talks event tomorrow. This one will feature Aqua's Nick Blair, who will discuss upcoming fleet regulations requiring public agencies to move towards electric vehicles. We will also have CSDA's Chris Palmer, who will discuss special districts and their governance. We still have seats available, so if anyone is interested in visiting or joining us, they can visit our website at mswd.org/water talks to register. Next slide, Dory. I also wanted to draw everyone's attention to what you've already mentioned a little bit, the Corbs event that took place on January 27th. During the special awards ceremony hosted by the California Water Environmental Association and its Colorado River Basin section, Mission Springs Water District took home 3 awards, including Small Plant of the Year for plant operations at the Allen L. Horton Wastewater Treatment Plant, Collection Operator 2, Joseph McElroan was named 2023 Collection System Person of the Year. And we also took top honors for community engagement and outreach for Project of the Year for our Water 101 educational series. It was a very fun evening and very rewarding to see our wastewater staff engage with their peers and from other districts and to be recognized for all the hard work and service they perform every day. If anyone would like some video from that, I do have the juggler with the shoe on his nose, so see me afterwards. Next slide, Dory. The public affairs team distributed several news releases and stories in the past month, including information on our new board leadership, our general manager appointment, the Forbes Awards that you just heard about, and a cautionary story reminding customers to beware of water district impersonators. These stories garnered social media attention and media pickup in several publications, including Desert Local News, City News, Aqua News and Updates, El Informador, and the Yukon Report. California's Low-Income Household Water Assistance Program, also known as LIHWAP, provides critical water and sewer bill assistance to households struggling to make ends meet. Households with a total gross income below 60% of the state median income, or those that participate in CalFresh, CalWorks, or the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, called LIHEAP, are already income qualified to receive support through LIHWAP. Originally created as a temporary federally funded program, LIHWAP is now closing, and customers must apply before March 15th to receive any of the remaining funds. Since the creation of the program, MSWD customers have benefited greatly, receiving more than $200,000 worth of pledges. Some of you may remember our community resource clinics we held last May and last June, where we had long lines of people snaking out of the building waiting for assistance. After March 15th, we will still have the United Way Help to Others program that MSWD helped to create. However, those with large past due balances are still being encouraged to participate in the LIHWAP program while it's still available. Looking to the horizon, the state legislature has tried to create some type of statewide assistance program. You may remember last year's SB 222 from Senator Dodd. Unfortunately, that bill did die. Just this past month, though, on the federal level, Senator Padilla announced that he is seeking support for the Low-Income Household Water Assistance Program Establishment Act, which would authorize a revised LIHWAP program. Initially created in the American Rescue Act, the current program is administered by the Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families. That was a mouthful, sorry about that. The bill, this new bill will make the LIHWAP permanent and transfer the program to the Environmental Protection Agency. We have sent a letter of support for the bill, and we will keep you informed of any movement on this front. Next slide, Dory. And on a lighter note, our January 2024 Water Matters newsletter featured information about our recent leadership changes, a 12-month schedule on our water talks, and information on the various payment assistance programs available to our customers. Our February newsletter will feature information about water district imposters and how to remain safe. It'll also include MSWD's Forbes Awards that we just mentioned, and I also have information on how to apply for the LIHWAP program. Next slide, Dory. During my monthly updates, I like to provide the board with previews of some of the items you will see in the coming weeks and months. One such item is a refresh to our residential rebate and conservation offerings that will keep us in line with our other water districts here in the Coachella Valley. Currently, we offer toilet replacement rebates of up to $100 for the replacement of old inefficient toilets to new models that use 1.28 gallons per flush. We also offer $2 per square foot for turf removal and free conservation kits. Starting in April, we are planning to expand these offerings to include additional toilet replacement rebates for replacement models that use 1.1 gallons per flush or that have a dual flush option. We'll be also adding clothes washer replacement for Energy Star models that have an integrated water factor of 4.5 or less. And lastly, we will be offering a smart irrigation controller rebate for weather-based models. Those are the types that have the capability to adjust themselves when a rain event occurs. We are still working on the applications and the fine details of each of these offerings, and they may change slightly. We do have budgeted conservation dollars available for these offerings, and we have 2 grants that we'll be pulling from for reimbursement, including the Prop 1 Round 2 Implementation Grant and the Urban and Multi-Benefit Drought Relief Grant for underrepresented communities. Both of these grants were obtained through our participation in the Coachella Valley Integrated Regional Water Management Group. To go along with the management and creation of these rebate offerings, our office will be working on a promotional campaign to get the word out about their availability. You will be provided with additional updates as we move forward. Go ahead, Dory. And then lastly, this brings me to my favorite part of the update. I now get the pleasure of previewing our latest video update, which features our revised Protect Your Pipes video. Dory, we don't have any sound. Can you stop sharing and then reshare that page with sound, please?
Each and every day, Mission Springs Water District treats millions of gallons of wastewater collected through our sewer system. But sending the wrong thing down the drain could clog those pipes, creating big messes for you, your neighbors, and our entire community. 2 of the biggest troublemakers are wipes and fog. FOG is an acronym for fats, oils, and grease, which include items such as steak trimmings, salad dressings, and even avocados. Instead of using the garbage disposal, toss them in the trash instead. Other items that can cause harm to your pipes include dairy, mayonnaise, bacon grease, sour cream, and any type of cooking oil. These fats, oils, or greases will solidify when poured down the drain, narrowing pipes and eventually creating clogs. Now that you know the importance of fog, let's move on to wipes. While the label may say they are flushable, they do not dissolve like toilet paper. They can clump together in pipes, causing clogs and backups in your home. Other bathroom items that need to be thrown in the trash are cotton balls, tissues, cotton swabs, and feminine products. Not only will they block your pipes, they can also create problems for your neighbors and throughout the sewer system. By doing your part in properly discarding fog and wipes, you and your household will help keep our sewer system running smoothly. To learn more, visit mswd.org.
And that concludes my update for today.
Great.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments for Marion, Director Duff? Vice
There we
President-
go.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, my computer froze. It let me do it now. I just wanted to say thank you for great work, and very impressed with the speed in which you're able to disseminate information to our residents. And I just think it's a great duty that we have, and you handle it so well and so quickly, notifying our customers of potential imposters so quickly after San Diego and experienced it. And then a couple weeks after you had warned everyone, a resident experienced it. So thank you very much for your hard work.
Vice President Griffin.
Great job as always. Congratulations on the award. Well earned, well deserved. That's it.
Director Martin.
Yeah, one of the top selling wipes that's on the market right now, advertises on their label and everything that they're flushable. And I'm just wondering whether or not anybody has notified them that it's not, and what is their criteria for making that claim on television ads and print ads, because people are buying these things thinking that they're totally flushable and they're not. So
There was a bill that was introduced last year, and it was enrolled last year that gave them a window for about 2 years where they could continue to make wipes and market wipes, but eventually they will become flushable. Even those flushable wipes, though, they still don't deteriorate like toilet paper. So even once you get to those newer wipes in a couple years, I still think that as a district, we're gonna need to tell our customers and inform them about that. Nothing really just disintegrates like toilet paper. And so even the ones that are gonna be reclassified as flushable still shouldn't go down.
Looks like their criteria is just once it's used and put in the toilet, they're able to flush it into the pipes. That seems to be their criteria, and that's certainly not an honest presentation. So. That's all.
Director Meyer.
Yes, I'm still kind of hung up on this total flush toilet.
They actually have 2 buttons usually on the top for number 1 and number 2.
I wasn't really gonna make you elaborate on.
Okay, good. That's about as far as the detail I want to go.
I thought maybe it came with flames or something and the poor man cave, you know.
2 buttons.
Anyways,
Thank you.
as you brought up already, the bill that was introduced for the wipes. Wasn't there also a law that was passed or a bill that all of our food had to go into a special container for the trash company to take away? When is that going to happen? So that'll help with the problem here.
That is actually already started here in Desert Hot Springs. Desert Valley Disposal has been distributing little bins. They partnered with the city to do little bins that you can keep on your counter. At the end of that video, you may have noticed there was like a little white bin and a family was dumping their food scraps into it. And then at the end, you saw the little daughter and the father go out to the green bin and drop it in. And that's part of that food recycling.
Good. Another thing I have is I forgot to mention, I went to the planning commission meeting and I appreciate you. I came back with a little bit of a complaint and you checked into where the glitch was, and I appreciate you doing that. And I also appreciate your willingness to listen to me when it comes to social media and handle those posts that can be corrected, and you do a great job on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further on general manager report?
Not at this time.
Item 20, district council comments. We will be having a closed session though today. Great, thank you. Item 21, director comments and requests for future agenda items. So if you notice, this item is a little different than what we're used to. But moving forward, we spoke at our workshop about the opportunity for all members of the board to publicly request future agenda items. So now, in addition to your director's comments, you'll have the opportunity to request an item, and then the general manager and myself will do our best to get it on a future agenda, whether that's a workshop or standard board meeting. And to just start it off, I'll make a request, and that's just, I know last week Director Meyerhoffen was speaking regarding the engineering department and getting maybe a better overview. I'll let you speak on maybe what you'd like to request, but just an overview. And I think it would be a good fit for a workshop. I know our workshops now, I think the general idea of them having one every month was to just have a better informed board. And so I think an overview of the engineering department and all the projects would be great for all 5 of us. But I'll let you elaborate more on what you were requesting, and we'll go on to director comments as well. So if you'd like to start.
As far as the engineering, it's hard to say what's expected. Been so long since they met, and there's nothing in the director handbook that I found that gives any guidelines. So it's not only just for me, but for the future. I've asked for some information. I haven't gotten any replies back, and that makes it difficult. I'm kind of concerned about a few things. And I can go over those later on, but the one concern I have is with the people that we're getting to their consultants. And the things that we're getting consultants on, or it seems to me like it's not necessary. and it's in the engineering part. So I would like to see that. Thank you for addressing that, and board, and keep in mind that we're all in this together, so whatever you think I should be doing, I'm willing to listen to whatever the management thinks I should be doing. And what my part and role is as being assigned to that. I'll be looking forward to hearing from everybody.
Well, I think a good step would be, I guess, between now and maybe the next week or so. If you want to send an email to general manager and myself to get a better kind of scope of what you're hoping to see, just so staff has a better idea of what type of presentation to do at an upcoming meeting. But yeah, hopefully we can get a little deeper into it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's good for now.
Director Martin, any comments or requests?
Not at this time.
Director Duff?
That is so hard. I'm sorry. The delay drives me crazy. No, not at this time. Thank you for making that change. I think that it is a really wonderful way for us to just have a clear path to addressing issues any of us may have and involve the public when necessary. And I think that just increases our transparency as a district, which I know we are all striving so much for. So I think it's a great change to our process, and thank you, President Sewell, for doing that. I think that it's going to allow every board member to feel more heard and have more opportunity to address concerns they have. So thank you for that.
And thank you, because I think you were really the catalyst to get that discussion started. So thank you, and I hope you feel better. Vice President Griffin?
Nothing.
And I just have one slight comment. And that is next week, we're having the first of our 5 blood drives for the year. I think it's a great thing that Carol and our staff puts on, an opportunity for our public to have a place nearby that they could donate blood. And that is February 28th. And I believe there's still a decent amount of slots available. So the livestream.org website, you can go and sign up and make an appointment. And other than that, we will head into closed session. All right, we'll just before heading into closed session, we'll announce the item, and that is item 22. Council?
Conference with legal counsel regarding potential initiation of litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, sub D, sub 4, one potential case.
Thank you. And we'll head into closed session. Thank you, Dory. We reconvene from closed session. Counselor, can we have a report on action taken during closed session?
Yes. Conference with legal counsel regarding potential initiation of litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, sub D, sub 4, one potential case. No reportable action.
Thank you. And with that, meeting is adjourned.